Here we go. Live on the Metal Voice. Back once again. Blaze Bayley.
Ha
ha!
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Last time you were on the show, it was the live album and the heart attack. Sorry,
Yeah.
post-heart attack. Post-heart attack, live album.
It is your fault then. It is your fault. I blame
Yes.
you. I'm looking for someone to blame. It couldn't possibly be me having too many fatty foods and sausages. That couldn't be me, could it?
That wasn't you.
Of course not. It's got to be me. That's what my wife says.
No, must be you. You made me have it.
I have
Now
to
I
say,
remember
Blaze,
that.
after that interview, you inspired me. I lost 25 pounds. You set a fine example, my friend.
Oh,
Look at
thanks,
that.
man.
Wow,
Thank you.
Look at that. Wow, you're inspirational. You're like, what was that guy
Inspirational,
named?
Blaze.
What was that guy? Who was that fitness guy?
Anthony
that
Robbins.
Anthony Robbins. No.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. New album coming out. I
Yeah.
just lost. Geez, there it is. Circle of Stone, February 24th. Blaze, do you remember? 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah, the 23rd, February 23rd.
February 23rd. Let's see it again. Let's see the album again. Circle of Stone. Open it up. Open it up like on The Price is Right. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Wow.
What we've done, with some shipping things, we keep the sleeve white. We just keep for shipping and all of that. And what we do is, instead of putting the lyrics on the dust cover, we have a whole booklet that we make.
Very nice.
So this goes in. That's why we love the gatefold. And then in here, in a booklet, then you get all of your lyrics beautifully laid out there. You can take your time over it, and you still get some extra artwork in there as well. Some lovely photos.
Nice.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's nice. It's nice to have a booklet, and then you feel you're not cramming things in, because if you do it on the dust cover and it's one piece, which we like to have one piece of vinyl, but we like to have the gatefold. If you're doing it on the dust cover, then you're limited in a lot of things. We've got to squish it in. And isn't the point of having the vinyl that it's big, not that it's squished up? So and then you've got that replicated
beautiful
with
beautiful
thing in there. So it's nice. And the part 2, the B-side, is 6 songs that tell a story within themselves, like a concept.
So show us on the album. The first side A, right, is songs individual, right? Individually by themselves.
Yeah. So my A side is side 1. Here we got it. Side 1, Mind Reader, Tears in Rain, Rage, The Year Beyond This Year, Ghost in a Bottle, and Broken Man. These are different subjects. Mind Reader is, we all love music, and we're nerdy geeks, and we just accept each other for the idiots that we are. We all like the same kind of music for the same kind of reasons, just slight variations. But there are some people that look at us and judge us, and they don't even know our names, and they decide how we think and what our values are. And this song is about rejecting that. That's why it's called Mind Reader. If you could read my mind, well, you'd find I'm going to bitch slap you for being so arrogant that you think you can read my mind. Because the only people that can really read your mind are the people that really, really love you and
like,
you're deeply
like our wives, they could read our minds.
Exactly. So this is, don't take on board what people, they decide you are. Don't become that thing. You know, maintain your identity and just remember that someone's opinion of you is not you. You are you and your friends. That's you, not what people say about you. So that's what that one. The video comes out Friday. Very excited about that. Hope people like it. Tears in Rain. You know the Blade Runner movie, the original Blade Runner movie?
Absolutely.
The central character, Roy, the replicant. Yes. That's a song about him. That's why it's the classic line. After Roy has tried to find a way to extend his life and live almost as a human, then the cruel, horrible thing that his end, his fate has already been predetermined, and all of his life experience, all of those memories will be lost like tears in rain. And all of us nerdy sci-fi geeks, we often drag that line out when we want to appear extra cool.
Extra cool.
And that's been just hanging around. Chris was doing something on the guitar there. I've got this. I'm like, oh, you know what? I think this might fit. It's been hanging around for years. I've always wanted to fit it in a song. And it did. It worked really well. And then Rage. This is based on a true story from, I think, 11 something, or is it 1300 AD, something like this. And it's Prince Llewellyn of Wales, and he calls his favourite hound. He's going hunting, calls a hound. His favourite hound doesn't come. He goes hunting, comes back, and there's his hound with blood around his mouth. And he thinks, oh, I left my baby son at home. And he instantly thinks the worst, loses his temper, and puts his sword into the heart of his favourite hound, thinking that he's killed his son. Then he hears the baby cry out, and he sees the baby is alive underneath the crib that's been overturned, and next to the baby is a dead wolf. So what has actually happened, the reason that the hound, his best friend, did not come, is because he was fighting to the death to save his son. And it's the tragedy of losing your temper, of making a snap decision, deciding, and I've done it many times myself as I was younger, and I've regretted it and done stupid things and suffered the consequences. And when I saw this legend, I thought, I'm not going to say anywhere in the lyric that hound or dog, because those of us that love animals, your dog will be your best friend sometimes. The most loyal person, most loyal personality, let's say, in your life, and will always stick by you. And that's why I thought, you know what, there's a way to do this. And Chris had come up with a couple of nice touches. Mm-hmm. And then we had the idea of the violin, and then it went round a few different variations, but it became this thing of rage. And I think it's worked really well, that the music and the lyric, the melody has brought that to life. And then year beyond this year.
And by the way, from the chat, Blaze, from the chat that I'm watching here, because there's live chat, people seem to love the first two singles. I just want to add.
Oh, that's great. That's
good
great,
news.
Man.
Tomorrow, a new single, right? Tomorrow's a new single. So stay tuned, everyone. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, it was, we were very anxious about that first single. We just didn't know what people would think. It's quite a bit different, and it's got different, guests on it as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and then side two, really is that story. So Circle of Stone was that first single, and people wonder, well, why have you got extra vocalists on it? And that's because it's out of context, but it's the first part of the story where our central character, the righteous man, he's denying his true path. He is selfish, insecure, materialistic. He's shallow, and he has to learn to tell the truth, to stand up, to sacrifice ordinary pleasures of life to become someone who is worthy to lead the forgotten tribe of the ancestors back to the homeland. The ancestors called to him in his dream. And that is why we have that voice. That's Nicholas from the band Wolf. It's an incredible band, a great voice. He is the voice of the ancestor. So you hear him say, illusion, a dream, I am real. And his voice is so different. You could never mistake it for me singing. You know it's someone else. And in the context of the story, then it makes sense. And it follows through then. Those songs on side 2 are about those feelings and situations and what happened to the ancestors all those years ago and why they're the forgotten tribe. And it's nice the way that it turned out. It was a happy accident. We're looking at it and going, doesn't that song fit with that one? If we put that one there, isn't that? And for some reason, I don't know why, it came at different times and all of that. These pieces came at different times and started to fall into place. It was incredible. And what's very, very spooky is this was finished the day before I had a heart attack that nearly killed me. The day before, couldn't tell anybody about it because of normal business things, had to keep it quiet. And then you look at the lyrics, hear the lyric, and you're like, what? I have a song here, Absence, and one of the main lyrics in the song is, from my chest, my heart is torn.
Crazy.
And you go, well, I've had open heart surgery, and you know what they do? They cut you in half, they take out your heart. Yeah, man. My heart was torn from my chest.
Yes.
So it's like, well, you could just say all of these lyrics almost could be written as a response to my heart attack, not as something predicting what's happened. The year beyond this year, here on side 1, that's about learning to come to terms with things. But that lyric came just in the room as we were jamming through. And you know what? It takes more than a year to heal from a open heart surgery like this, to get your full strength back before you can really get back. I'm singing well, breathing well, I can perform, but to really get back. So it's looking, not this year, the year beyond this year, yeah, we're going to crush it. We're going to smash it. It's unreal.
But that's so Blaze. I was listening to the album and listening to the lyrics. Like, do you have any premonition that you were feeling good when you recorded these songs? Because, like you said, there's some subconscious level, something's going on there.
I don't know. Maybe it was. I just felt like I was out of shape. But now I know, what was wrong, that I'd been ill and getting ill very slowly, worse, for a long time. I didn't realize that. So I don't know. I suppose my technique, I worked on my technique, and I have a lot of experience with recording. So my voice felt like I got to a point where I've got more control, more power. I can portray the emotion and make you feel the passion of the story and the sadness and the melancholy vibe of things. I have that voice now that I always wanted for years of experience and all the things that have happened to me. And I was able to put that onto this record and into this recording. And I just feel so lucky and grateful that I still have my voice intact and I can sing these songs live.
Yeah, I was listening to The Broken Man, right? It was just basically you and a guitar, and that you just answered my next question. Like, what's changed with your voice since you first started years and decades ago to today? And I think you just gave us that answer. So.
Yeah, and if you think that, I think a lot of male singers, a lot of rock singers, let's say, not really male singers, but a lot of rock singers and metal singers start off power, hard, loud, high, power, hard, loud, and not being dramatic, dynamic. And I go, what hooked me, as you know, is Ronnie James Dio and the softness.
Yeah.
He could conjure. You can't believe it's the same man. Yeah. And when I heard Children of the Sea from Black Sabbath, that I was completely captivated by that. It changed my life, literally changed the direction of my life, because after that, I wanted to be a singer in a band. There's no other way. And if you listen to Don't Talk to Strangers from the Holy Diver album, that's the same kind of thing. Going way back to Rainbow, what
Rainbow
he did,
Eyes or Temple of the King, or
softness and sweetness and the power. That's really the hand in the velvet glove, isn't it? And I think as a young man, you're seeking the power, you want that as a young person, and then getting older and feeling more, well, I need more from this. I need to make my voice available for this lyric, to make this lyric seem utterly real as you're listening, so you can lose yourself in it. I have to convince my listener, I have to convince you that this is really happening, or that we're getting up, we're going on, or we're about to break into tears, or we're going to win the World Cup. These vibes and feelings that I want. And I think in those Maiden years, it was just, it's a brief time. It's 5 years, but I went from being someone who was, trying to be loud, searching for the high notes, trying to be strong, then working in the studio, finding this other part of my voice. Steve Harris, it's his first big album that he produced, and he found this part of my voice, and that's the turning point of the X Factor and Maiden, turning towards a progressive time. And from that, to develop that then, and keep being able to develop and find strength in those places, that now I feel I'm able to do what I want. If I've got a lyric that says, this has got to be powerful, I can do it. If I've got a lyric that goes, this has got to let people in to a melancholy world, then I can do it. Well, I don't think I could do that before, not to the same degree. And it's something I really enjoy. Isn't it crazy that it could have been 10 minutes? If the ambulance didn't get here in 10 minutes, I'd never be singing these songs live. I mean, never have seen this album. It's unreal, man.
Did you have the title of the album? Did you already have that down? The title of the album, the artwork, and all that? Circle of Stone, the circle, right?
What happened was I wanted to propose to my woman, and it was the winter solstice coming up. And I said, I'm taking you for lunch. And she goes, okay. It's a bit, where is it, the restaurant, if we've got to get up at 10 in the morning to get there? I'm saying, oh, so look, don't worry, baby.
Iceland.
It's all good.
Don't worry. Don't worry, yeah. And so then we're pulling up around lunchtime at Stonehenge. And she goes, oh. And then I get her at the heel stone of Stonehenge, which you look up from the heel stone through the stones and you see the sunrise, all of this.
Very cool.
And that's when I stick the ring on her and go, that's it for you now. And I took her around the museum, bought her a fridge magnet.
How close do they let you go to Stonehenge, the rocks themselves?
Not that close.
No,
not that
you
close.
See from far away, right?
Yeah. Or you got to have special permission or be a druid. You know,
it's usually how it works.
On the days. You know, I wasn't prepared to go. You know, I'm thinking of druidism. So,
do they sell hot dogs? At least you ate something.
They got a nice cafe there. A nice
at least you took her out. Okay.
Yeah, and they got anyway. She's engaged now, and we bought a couple of postcards and a bit of memorabilia and that. And then we're talking about the album, Chris and I, and what are we going to call it? There's so many cool things. It could have been called Mind Reader, or it could have been called Rage, or Broken Man, or Absence, or it could have been a lot of the titles were very strong and felt could be strong enough for album titles. And then I'm looking up, and there's hundreds of stone circles in the UK and around Europe. And it was a thing of our ancestors to make these stone circles. And I'm going, Circle of Stone, because for some reason that's come out as that song has come out so strong. So that was it, Circle of Stone. I'm looking at a picture of Stonehenge above my desk, and I'm going, this makes sense. There's a feeling here, Circle of Stone. Yeah. And the idea that you would search all the stone circles in the UK as one of our ancestors, trying to get a vibe. And one of my very good friends, he went on a camping holiday, and he was trying to find somewhere cheap. And next to the pub was a stone circle. And he said, oh, am I allowed to camp there? They goes, don't camp there. Don't camp inside the stones. And it's, oh, God. But when he walked inside that circle, he really felt something. There was a real feeling there. So the idea that someone would look for a particular circle where they could have an experience where they could connect themselves to that dream world where the ancestors are calling them from in their dreams, it all seemed to come together. And the guy that we asked to be a special guest, Nicholas from Wolf, I was telling him about the project, and I'd love to be involved. I think your voice would be perfect to play a part for me as the ancestor. And he said, oh, there's a stone circle in my village where I live. Yeah. He goes, and it's in the shape of a longboat, and it's to commemorate my ancestors, Viking ancestors. I'm like, what? We didn't even know that when we met. Didn't even know. And we didn't even know when we thought of his voice. What? And when he did the video, he's part of the video for the song. He's doing that around the area where that stone circle is. And it's just incredible. And then my fiance was saying to me, oh, she has a Scottish heritage. And she says, my clan fought with Robert the Bruce at Bannockburn, and we beat the English to keep Scotland free. Hey, what the man? What? It's unreal. Unreal. All the coincidences and spooky things. You know what? It's incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. So far, a few fans we're shipping out the pre-orders. They've all gone. Some fans have got it. If you haven't got it, you'll be getting it in the next day or two, I imagine.
Let me ask you this, Blaze. You're talking about, you're finding your voice. When you were in Wolfsbane and you were singing in Wolfsbane, was it just basically, like you said, you just belted it all out? I mean, a lot of people don't even know this. Wolfsbane opened for Iron Maiden on No Prayer for the Dying, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm going to ask you this. What was that experience like? You're playing with, you're opening up for Maiden.
That was just, when you've got to put things in context, but of my life then, that was just the best thing I ever did. It was incredible. My dreams were coming true, and I was asked to be part of the Iron Maiden football team. So I actually played for the Maiden football team. So it was fantastic, man. You're playing football on the days off and didn't go home. Oh, it was incredible. And then every gig, I think it was 33 sold out UK shows. It was the last time they ever played theatres in the UK. It was fantastic. So it was a great, wonderful, wonderful experience. And I've always been a fan. Ronnie James Dio, with his dynamic, how he could sound powerful and also gentle, but also of Dave Lee Roth with Van Halen, their early albums, and Bon Scott with AC/DC on the early albums, where the sound is like having a conversation. It's not even like Bon Scott is singing. He's telling you a little story down the pub almost, like, hey, mate, I'll tell you what happened that night. Oh, yes. So there's that element of it, as well as trying to be powerful. So on our Wolfsbane songs, I was trying to find that voice. I didn't know there was all this extra places I could go, and they weren't really available to me. And we found those when we were in the studio with Iron Maiden. So, but that support too was fantastic.
But being on stage opening for Maiden, did it even cross your mind that you'd be fronting Iron Maiden?
No. I felt like my voice was so different to Bruce. But you know what? The confidence of those guys, I would push it a little bit more every night. We'd always be on time, very respectful of the time, and said, this is the time on, that's the time off. That's it. And we always made sure that we were good for the time. But I'd see the big side fills, the frames with the speakers in, and I know Bruce climbed up them, so I'd have a climb. I'd climb up, and I'd climb up, and the lads would egg me on. Go on, Barry, have a go. And I'd climb up, and I was thinking afterwards, I thought, I'm going to get a right trouble for this. No, never said anything.
Did they ever make you dress up as Eddie?
No. And I never, I kept doing it every night. And eventually I was standing on top of the things that Bruce used to stand. And Steve Harris come over the one night. I thought, oh, here we go. And he goes, I've seen you climbing up there. He goes, it's nice to have a band that pushes us.
Oh.
Incredible, isn't it? No ego at all. Just like, oh, we better have a go then. They're really trying to, we better have a go. It was great. That's why they're at the top, and they deserve to stay at the top, because that's the attitude. It's like not that they're saying, oh, no one will blow us away. They're going, oh, we better really get to work because someone is trying to blow us away. And it's impossible. It was nice, that was great, man. Really cool.
That's a big change from you're the opening band. You got 10 feet by 10 feet. Don't leave the box.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had that with some people. don't go up there. Don't touch that. Don't touch this. I'm like, what, Matt? Why? What's wrong with you? But it's difficult. You know, I'm very grateful. Those days are gone. You know, it makes me laugh though. We've had support bands in the last 10, 15 years that come up and they go, well, there's hardly any room on the stage. If we've got a set up in front, we go, yeah. Well, can you move your stuff? No. With a headline band. And, you know, what do you think we had to do?
Yeah.
We certainly didn't moan about having no space. We'd go, no space? We'll show you. We'll show you what you can do with no space. So that was it, man. I've got no time for people coming up. Get on with the job. Try and steal the fans. Play like your life depends on it. Space doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're playing to 3 people, 30 people, 3,000. Just doesn't matter. That same energy should go into the show. If you've got 6 inches or 6 feet, it doesn't matter. It should be the same energy. The energy is in the music. And for us, everything is in that music. If our songs don't work acoustically or just playing them together in the room, quiet, they don't work like that. It doesn't work with lights and big sound. It has to work on every level. So for us, it's not about smoke and flashing lights and all of this. No, it's about the music. And it's about being able to connect with fans that have supported and believed in us and made that gig possible. So we don't have, you know what, it's a cliche, isn't it, to say 100% live. But we just don't know sometimes what's going to happen.
Blaze, you're a purist, okay? You're a purist. We've seen you many, many times. You are singing. You are actually singing. Your band is actually playing. You can't get any more pure than that. And then you meet everybody after the show. There cannot be a purist artist than you on stage. I mean, what do you think about all the young guys coming up and just playing the tracks and not even and miming? And it's
well, what we're doing is so old, it's new. And I really feel that's happening. I know it's funny, yeah, but it is. I really feel it's happening as I'm going around the country and I'm going around Europe and I'm talking to different sound guys and stuff like that. And I say, no effects on the vocals. And they go, what? Nothing. I'm going, no compressor, no limiter, limit me. No, nothing. It's my vocal is dry, and that's difficult to take for that first couple of songs for people. But then once they get used to it, they forget then. And that is because I don't want anything in the signal path between me and you. I don't want anything in the way that doesn't have to be there. I want everything that's there between my microphone and that speaker to be something that is enabling that signal, those electrons to go through, not getting in the way, mixing them up and colouring them at all. And that's a different way to look at things. And I think things will change, but it'll take a while because some people go, oh, a lot of it's on tape. And they go, yeah, so what? But for us, it's like, burn the laptops. That's it. Burn the laptops.
Let them
destroy
burn.
the data sticks. We're not having that in our show.
No reverb.
No, not even reverb. Not even a little reverb. Just a little echo.
But that's in the way, man. It's in the way. It's distance. It's distance between my vocal. I'm pouring my life down that microphone. I'm pouring my life into my performance. Why do I want something in the way? I want you to hear what I'm doing so I can connect with you and drag you into my world to make you forget every problem in your life and be with me at that concert and remember that concert as something that was positive in your life. And you can look back on in dark times and go, yeah, but you know what? When it was at that Blaze gig, that was a good time.
Burn the Laptops is the new next album by Blaze Bayley. Burn the Laptops. Yeah, yeah.
Burn the laptop!
Burn them.
All right.
Speaking of touring, what's the plan here? You got the album, plus you got the 30th anniversary shows. How does this work out?
Chaos! It's chaos! It's a good job I'm not in charge.
Yeah.
It's absolute chaos. It's not chaos. It's very, very well planned and executed. But if it were left to me and in my hands, it would be chaos. So what they've done is a lot of festivals have asked us for the anniversary set. So it's 30th anniversary. So I'm playing a lot of X Factor and Virtual 11 songs. And there are headline shows in regular venues. That's our Circle of Stone set. So we kind of alternate between the two. And in Sweden, we've never done anniversary Iron Maiden set. So we're doing that in Sweden for the first time. And yeah, that's it. So some of it is 30th anniversary and some of it is Circle of Stone. But generally speaking, most of the clubs and venues that we regularly headline, that's our new album tour.
Okay.
All right. Well,
it's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah.
You know,
and you're feeling good and you're back on track, and that's what counts the most.
Yeah, I've got to get my strength back. You know, that's because they cut you in half.
Yeah.
I've got to get my strength back. All your intercostals wasted to nothing. All your chest is wasted to nothing. You got to build that back. That's a year because you're coming back from nothing. So, but that's happening. I'm getting stronger each show. My voice has been strong all the time. So that's really, really great. So I'm strong. I'm working, man. I'm back at work. I'm just so grateful that I can get back to my job. And I have the job that I dreamed of. And the support of my fans and people that supported me and sent letters and cards and all things to meet people and say hello and thank you. It's just nice. Yeah, nice to be back at work.
All right.
Good.
Final note. What do you want to say about the new album to everybody out there who's watching?
Well, there's a couple of things. One is, look, stream it till you get it. Because you know what? If you're streaming it, I don't get much money off it, but it's not about that. What it's about is the more you stream my album, then you're going to change the algorithm. So that will mean that it's suggested more times. And quite simply, all I need is my fans to just tell another person, and I'm on the way. And for us, Spotify and all those platforms, that's like the radio for us. We're never going to get on mainstream radio, but we can get on Spotify and then buy your album. We're all nerdy geeks, collectors. Then buy your album when you can. That's it. And you'll be really helping me if you stream it and buy it. You haven't got to go, I'm buying it, I won't stream it because you don't get much money. We won't get anything if they don't stream it, but there is a chance that if we stream it, we'll go up a little bit. A few more people that would like me, if they knew about me, will find out about me. And the other thing is just, man, all the support I've had since my heart attack and being back at work, just thank you so much to everybody. And it's very anxious. Will people like the album? I just hope that people who've been with me for a long time will enjoy this record because
I enjoyed it.
I
enjoyed it, and I think the production is probably a step up from the last few albums, and that's the production is really good. I know you and Chris worked on it, and wow,
we produced the
really
albums.
Good production.
It's another part of the process for us. We're learning the production, and it's a part of telling the story. So when we're mixing the album, we're putting sounds in places and having things louder and quieter in places to draw you in, draw your attention, focus you on this guitar melody, focus you on this bit of lyric and vocal to bring you into our song and involve you in it. That's another part of the process which production allows us to do, which Jimmy Page did with Led Zeppelin. He produced their album. It's part of his vision. Yeah. And you're thinking all those steps ahead. And when we record it and when we mix it and when we perform it live, that's all a part of it as we're going. So we're so proud of it, what we've done with the production. It's hours and hours of work and a lot, man.
Show the album as we close off. Show the album once again, like Vanna White.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Congratulations, Blaze.
Open it up.
I think it's one of your strongest.
I've got an album.
I thoroughly enjoyed Blaze. It's one of your strongest albums. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Congratulations to you and your whole team there, the boys in Absolva, and just a fantastic job. A really good album.
Man, thank you. It's been very anxious. It's a bit different to what we've had before. Would people like it? And to hear that you like it is just
pipes.
Chris Appleton. I just want to give a shout out to Chris Appleton, your writing partner, the producer, your writing co-producer, I guess. He does a phenomenal job live. He does a phenomenal job writing the songs and helping you uncover your dreams.
And
your vision.
That I've been able to get Luke Appleton as well. Yes. Yeah, he's been available for writing and recording as well. I've been able to drag him down and we've worked together, and it's just with all of that side of things, I feel so lucky, and it's incredible, really.
Blaze, everybody's waiting for you in Montreal. Everybody. The same gang waiting for you in Montreal.
Well, all the time, man. How can we get back? So hopefully sometime next year we'll be there. We just fingers crossed we can make that. I'd love to come back.
February 23rd, the Circle of Stone.
The hardest working man in metal, Blaze Bayley. Feeling great.
Thank you, Blaze. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.